more people here uh than like the previous webinar, previous workshop that we've had. I think that's exciting.
Is that
Well,
so? Wow.
yeah. Anyway, so hi everyone, welcome to the
Hey.
LTDM Yonkoma Manga live critiquing session. Let's do a sound off in the chat while we're waiting
Hey
for
there.
Testing one, two,
other.
three.
Hello.
Okay,
Yes,
hang on.
Hello.
two, two.
All right, then hang on.
Hello.
Let's make
Hello.
sure we're seeing a lot of
Hello.
people
Yes.
pop up. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Hello.
wow.
Mm,
We've got
hello.
Mallory, Lexi. Yeah, lots of people. Okay, so since we're still waiting, how about we keep ourselves muted for now? Because we're gonna be expecting more people, and we don't want the we don't want the room to be all crowded or the audio be all crowded. Okay, all right, okay.
Lots of people in
Lots of
here.
people hopping
Wow.
in. There we go. All right. So, let's see here. Let's do a quick sound off in the chat. We want to know where everyone else is watching. So tell us where you're from.
Hey
Hi.
guys.
Hey yo. Okay, we got all right. People from America, like just Phil from America, Jennifer, Jennifer Montez from USA. Okay, lots of people from the US. We got Alejandro from Venezuela, Sarah from Canada. Wow. Okay, wow. Lots of we've got 54 in the room with us. That's awesome.
Yes. Also, we have some of our existing students here.
Hey,
Hi.
welcome. Oh gosh. Wow. That's amazing.
Wow,
Like
I did not I did not expect there to be this many people, but of course it's a very pleasant surprise.
wow. We got Cheetah Prawn from New York. Wow, ayo. All right, and we got Mallory from Wisconsin. Woo. All right. Wow, we have people from Sri Lanka, Philippines, Canada, India, Nigeria, Malaysia. Oh wow. Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting night. And of course, we have here with us Coach Karen, that's me, and we got the amazing Coach Fi from the Learn to Draw Manga
Hi.
team. And we're gonna be your hosts for this evening. And of course, while we're at it, please make sure that you guys grab your water. I know that it's late at night for some of you all, especially from the northern hemisphere. So make sure that you have your water bottles ready, you get your dinner, all that jazz, because we're gonna be having a very fun, exciting critique session tonight. Also, make sure that you guys share the live. We're currently live streaming on our YouTube channel. So, anyone that you know who is into manga, wants to learn how to get better at it, wants to get hear the feedback about yours, you potentially might be your submission. Yeah, you make sure you share this with everyone that you know, in your Discord servers, in your community chat. Don't be shy, and of course, if you already, for those watching us on YouTube, hi, make sure that you like and share the stream as well. And if you already did, you can drop your favorite emoji in the chat. Okay. All right. So thanks again, guys, for being here, and give yourself a pat on the back for being in this Zoom room right now. Everyone that's all in the Zoom, congratulations for being shortlisted. So we want to remind everyone that we will only be having like a limited number of submissions to be critiqued this tonight. So this is not a contest. If you did not get picked, it's okay. We're looking forward to like more opportunities. And there's a lot to learn from people who will be getting the critiques tonight. So yeah, let's all just hanging there. We're excited. Like it's the nervous jitters for us. Yeah. All right. So, I think we have lots of people already in the room, and we can get started, Coach Fi. So, yeah. Last month we all gave you a challenge to make your own manga, and we got tons of awesome submissions from you guys. Some of you even started making manga for the first time. So, because a lot of people enjoyed this amazing challenge, we decided to continue and then do it live. And now we're going to be giving feedback to eight more submissions. So for tonight, we're going to be looking over four. And then the other four will be in our second session on December 8th at 1 p.m. Central Europe time. So if your submission did not make it to this session, we're still going to be having another one tonight. I mean, in the next few hours for some of you all. Yeah. All right. And of course, quick reminder to the people watching from our YouTube channel as well. We're going to be prioritizing questions from our Zoom participants. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be the case. However, let's hope that if ever one of you guys are shortlisted, we can have you hanging out in the Zoom with us and learning from industry level experts. Yeah. All right. Okay. So without further ado, I challenge you guys. Please stick around for those in the Zoom. Stick around if you seriously want to level up your manga and storytelling skills and learn from our art professionals. You believe it's your life's goal to share your story and are ready to commit and reach your full potential, and you want to put your manga out into the world, join contests, and eventually work with publishers. I mean, guys, we're gonna be having the afternoon Shiki Show manga contest next year with Kodansha, I believe. So if you guys are planning on joining any of these contests, being here is the best time to learn, to get some insight. How can you make your skills better? Yeah. So all right then. And if you're excited, type I'm excited in the chat. I want to see who's excited here. Who is excited to listen and learn. Okay, we've got Reed is excited, Mariam is excited, Carrot, we've got Bree.
Nice.
Wow, nice, nice. Okay, I can feel the excitement. The fact that I can't keep up with the speed of the
Yeah,
chat.
yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I really
okay.
love the energy today here, everybody.
Yeah, yeah, keep them coming. All right. Since everyone's excited, let us just we want to briefly introduce ourselves. So why do you guys have to listen to us? Why? Well, first, it's because we've worked with our amazing manga artists like Nao Yazawa, who made Wedding Peach, and Rena Saya, who has also worked on manga and collabed on how to draw manga books. Like, these are our amazing senseis. They're awesome. And combined, they have 50 years of, like, combined experience in the manga industry. So they've done it all. They've won contests, they've gotten published, and they even taught beginner students in Japan on how to draw manga through a vocational school. So they definitely know what they are doing. And we're also working with the amazing Steph Pastrano. So he's a professional webtoon artist. Like, he started out doing fan art, and as you can see, like, his art looks like it's the official thing, right? And he is now the lead artist to an ongoing webtoon, so it's gonna be published anytime soon. They're still in the in progress, and he's also working on multiple doujinshi. Yeah, and of course, quite recently we had a new mentor joining our ranks. So the one, the only Art Crumbs, the creator of the God's Bane series, as well as the Viz Originals one shot Onami. So yeah, you can see we've had really awesome, really awesome professional mangaka mentors. And in the last 3 years, we have worked with nearly 400 beginner anime and manga artists. We have some of their works we want to show you actually. So here is Steven. Like, he just joined us quite recently, just this October, and in 1 month he was able to make, like, look how his yonkoma has progressed from static angles, and that right now he's challenging himself to make more dynamic storyboards for his yonkoma. We also have Garrett, who in 1 month was able to draft and ink this wonderful two-page spread of his beloved OCs. We actually interviewed Garrett in our channel, so if you haven't seen his interview already, it was Coach Fi who interviewed him for that one, so make sure to check it out. And we also have our Raven, the one and only one of our earliest students. Like, she's been with us for over a year now. So here in 5 months, she was able to transform and level up her paneling, poses, and more. And we've also got Courtney in 11 months. Like, look how big of a difference she's made with her panel work and her screen tones, her inking, yeah, and all that jazz. So now that you've seen them, that's what we are here for. We're here to take you to the next level and help you create a manga that you feel proud of. So make sure you guys stay until the end for the we're gonna do our live Yonkoma feedback in shortly. And of course, we're gonna have a Q&A to figure out how you can work with our pro mangaka mentors and make that dream a reality. So again, for those getting critiqued also, we're gonna be asking you some questions. So if you get picked, we're gonna have you unmute, and please make sure that you're ready because we're gonna be asking you some questions to help you make your submission better, or your yonkoma better. And also, again, reminder for everyone, this is not a contest, so don't feel bad if your work is not featured. Since we have limited slots, we're doing this to learn from each other and grow together as mangaka. So, are you guys ready? Are you ready? Because we're gonna get started now, right now. Yay!
Yes, let us know that you are ready. Type I am ready.
Yeah. Oh God. Well, yeah. Right. Okay.
Very
Sahib is.
explosive energy.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. So, without further ado, meet your coaches. So, hi again. I'm Coach Karen. I've done book art publications, collaborations with indie authors and more. So hi, and I also have here the amazing Coach Fi. So kindly introduce yourself.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I am Coach Fi. I am also known as Dragonfire on my socials. So I
Mm-mm.
don't s- I'm not that big of an artist, but I've got some I already have some professional experience in some animated shows, as well as a movie that I worked on locally. So
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So let's get started with the live critiques. I'm gonna be turning over the screen share to our Coach Fi, and we're gonna get started. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, okay. Can you guys confirm if you can see my screen? All right. I think that my screen is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, just okay. So once again, I'm going to remind you guys, as with what Coach Karen said, today is not a contest. And as much as we would love to get to as many as we can, we're gonna be prioritizing those of you who are in the Zoom. Okay, so for now, I would like to call upon Jitrapon. Are you here?
Yeah.
Jitrapon.
I think.
I
Yeah. I think
believe
I saw
Jitrapon is
Jitrofon
here. Yes, I
here.
can actually see your name right here. Okay, so Jitrapon, can you tell me if you can hear me? Just so I can make sure. Okay, that's no worries, no worries. Okay, so I guess Coach Karen,
Mm-hmm.
do you think you could just help with the
Yeah.
communication while they are in the chat and I am on my
Yeah.
screen? Okay,
It's
hang
okay.
on.
It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. I think I can
There,
unmute now.
That's
there we
okay. That's
go.
okay. All right. So let me just get my notes for you. Okay, so let's start off with yours. We saw this last night, and very lovely um very lovely yonkoma here. Okay. So first of all, with the positive feedback that we'd like to give. So you have a very cute and a clean style. It's very easy to read, and by easy to read, I mean, guys, I don't mean that. I'm not talking about the text. When we say easy to read, we're saying that all of the details that you have drawn in your yonkoma, it's very easy to like understand what's going on. So even if I zoom out, I kind of get, oh, okay, she's talking about food. She's at a restaurant, she's kind of despairing, right? That means it's easy to read. There's very little dialogue and it drives the point very easily. You've also got a very good variation of screen tones and values in general. So it makes the image overall interesting. Your composition here is also very varied, so that's good. It makes, again, it adds to the interest of everything. Also, the plot itself is very relatable, even
Mm-hmm.
outside of Thanksgiving. Like, for example, over here, we don't celebrate that. And I'm sure many of you across the world don't necessarily, but we've all been there where it's like, oh, I am so excited to get to eat my favorite food, but the restaurant that I want to go to is closed or whatever it is. And it's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And then at some point, you just have to settle for just ordering takeout or delivery in general, right? So again, it's very, very relatable. So, um, okay, I would like to say specifically panel one already sets the whole tone and the story very, very easily, right? So let's get on to how we can improve this a little further. Just referring to my notes here. Hang on. Okay. So, um, the first thing that I can say is that the twist, because if you guys have watched our videos, we talk about the Kisho Tenketsu. So the ki is essentially the exposition, the sho is the development, the ten is where the twist is, and ketsu is where everything concludes and we see the characters' reactions. So we have, one, two, three, four, the ki, sho, ten, and ketsu. So with regards to this one, the twist in the story, and again, when we say twist, it doesn't have to mean anything super huge. It can be as simple as this. But the twist itself was that your character ended up ordering food delivery instead, and it wasn't actually depicted. It was actually just stated in the text. Okay, so the twist should actually be in the third panel to follow the Kisho Tenketsu. So what we can do is we're going to be recomposing the panels. So panel one, actually, we're gonna keep as is because, like I said, it's very direct. It sets the tone, it sets the plot. We know that she wants to eat her favorite food because it's a pretty special day. So we're gonna keep that as is. It's very good. She's also like really cute, very cute anime girl esque. It keeps everything relatable for us otakus out here. Now we're gonna keep or combine elements of panel 2 and 3. Okay, so 2 is supposed to be the development. Oh my gosh, development. So 2 is supposed to be the development. And these two panels are a little bit slow, okay? So we already kind of get the point that okay, she's been waiting outside the restaurant in hopes that maybe they'll open up, but it's not happening. So the thing is, you can actually already depict that just using one of these. So it's either you choose one, or maybe you can combine both elements of both of them. For example, this one, the composition and the expression in this one, I actually particularly like this one. So what we are gonna do, one thing that we could do is I'm gonna clone this and then I'm gonna move it here. Oops, sorry about that. And then the description text itself could be something like, she's been here for 2 hours, just to drive the point that she has waited a while. So I'm going to be very briefly, uh, let's say, okay, let me clone this and then let me make it black. Okay, she's been here 2 hours. Maybe, so this is just very general text, of course. You don't have to follow the font that I'm using. Actually, let's make it, okay. And then let's put like, oh my gosh. Let's just imagine that we have that here. Oh, she's been here 2 hours. And then let's put some, oh, my bad. Sorry about that. It's a little bit messy. But yeah, so we're gonna lessen the weighting here because you can depict that with just one panel already. Because we want to save as much space as we can for the rest of the story, right? And then it's a little bit hard actually to pick because while I like the composition of this one, like especially with her expression and her pose. Also, I want to say very good use of the action lines here, the zoom lines, if you guys can see. I would probably darken them and like make them a little bit more bold. But again, here, for example, we have the restaurant closed and this very lonely scene of I'm sure we've all been there, like, oh my gosh, I'm just standing here, why are you guys closed, I want to. But this in itself is already enough to say because it says closed, so we got the point here. And then panel 3 can actually be replaced with something like, at least my idea or my suggestion for this was, we can make it the screen of a phone with, since you mentioned it's gonna be delivery, right? So the three panel 3 is the twist. So the twist is she's not waiting here anymore. So instead, and I'm just going to do this very roughly. So instead, maybe there's a phone here, and then, oops, on the same layer. My gosh, like sound off in the chat if you've been there. I accidentally drew everything on the wrong layer. Happens to me quite often, a lot more than I'd like to admit. So let's say it doesn't actually even have to be the whole screen itself. So let's say, how do you draw a thumb? So let's just imagine that that's her hand. Maybe add a little bit of a cute phone charm or something. It's not so popular nowadays, but just to match her aesthetic. And then let's say, okay, so delivery, right? We're gonna put, let's say, grab food or something.
Yeah. I actually have a question for Gita Prawn. Like, is this based on a personal experience? like you, yeah. Like, did you experience this yourself? All right. I mean, you can unmute. Hang on. I think you're allowed to unmute. Yeah. Last week. Got it.
Oh
Got
my
it.
goodness. Isn't that a mood?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my experience last week. So it's like this is I got the inspiration to draw all this from my Thanksgiving experience actually.
Mm-mm. Got it. Wow.
We've definitely been there. So, that I'd also like to say, guys, drawing immediately from experience is another great way to do your yonkoma because the emotions, the whole plot, it's all there. It's all real.
Mm.
So exactly, just as Jitrapon said, unfortunate feeling. Another thing you can do to enhance this panel. So let's say we're replacing it with, we're still using your idea, but we will properly depict it. You can put like a little bubble here to signify that she's kind of upset, right? So those little bubbles you see in manga and anime where you kind of see the person emoting even though they're not in the screen. So let's say she's doing the cute little crying face. We know that she's disappointed.
Yeah,
Okay, there we go. So again, what I'm doing is just very rough. So excuse me if it's not quite, on model or not too clean. But yeah, so there, that's one way. Okay, let me just refer to my notes. So we've got two options for panel four, actually, at least what I've noted here. So one is we can actually keep things relatively the same, and then we can just add on, like maybe we can add here in her hand, like the phone with the delivery app screen. This is one way. So
yeah,
let me just like fill that in. Oops, sorry about that. We'll fill that in. And then maybe we can like put the motorcycle icon just to signify, okay, it's on the way. So it's a little bit small the way I'm drawing it here. But so we can keep it relatively the same and maybe add additional effects or speech bubbles to indicate that the order was placed. So we can actually replace this text box. I'm gonna block it out here. And then maybe we can say, yeah. Oh my gosh, what happened to my text? There we go. Your order has been placed. But we should, oh, sorry. Yeah. Let's just imagine Let's just imagine that this is what it says. Okay, so your order has been placed. Typically, I've also seen that if you're going to be using descriptive text, especially when it comes to something that comes from an electronic, so like over the speakers, like let's say you're waiting for the train and you hear the announcements, a TV, or something on a text message, you'd want to use either a different font or at least like change how like the typeface is. In this case, I'm going to keep it italicized or slanted. I know there's a little bit of a difference there. So that is one option, and then we can actually delete this part already because again, we want your twist to be visible already from panel number three. So the second option is we can have an entirely different panel with a similar expression or a mood. Let me see. Let me do that. We can replace it entirely, and I'll do that here. Okay. And then what we can replace it with is maybe she is maybe it's a scene of her on her couch kind of being a potato, like maybe she's watching watching Netflix or she's on her laptop or something. And then she clearly has the delivery food in front of her. So again, I'm not going to be very on model here, but just to drive the point, maybe she's got, because it's Thanksgiving, so I believe I believe it's rather cold. So maybe she's bundled up in a blanket. Whoops. Like, I will say food delivery is still delicious. But
Yeah,
sometimes, right? Sometimes it doesn't quite hit as being there, especially if it's like fresh.
yeah.
What were you thinking of ordering and what did you end up ordering? I'm just curious if you'd like to tell us.
Yeah, actually, I remember I ordered Grubhub from 7-Eleven instead because most of the restaurants are closed. So from my experience, it was like I tried to go to like so many restaurants in the area, but all restaurants were closed at that time. So in the end, I just ordered something from 7-Eleven instead.
Oh, that's a lot to work.
Yeah,
I that
Oh.
felt.
yeah,
You know what I would suggest, like in this situation, like just to make it more accurate to what you experienced, Gita Prawn. I like remember how we like that you put like you really indicated that it was a restaurant that she was going to in panel 2. So maybe for your panel 4, the order should be there and it's clear in bold text it came from Whackdonald's or 7-8-11 like just to avoid copyright. But you get what I'm saying. Like you have like
yeah,
it's really clear that it's from like a convenience store as opposed to like a restaurant because it feels more. I think it makes the story a lot more punch to the gut. If that makes sense.
yeah. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Exactly. Actually, it drives the point even further. So, again, copyright things, but let's just say, okay, it's cheap here. And you can use when you edit this or when you depict this, like the clearest thing on the screen should actually be the logo, right? Exactly. So, again, so this is your second option for panel 4. So it's her with a similar expression or a mood. Maybe she's back at home. Maybe you could put a laptop in front of her even, or like the maybe like the light of the TV, kind of just to drive the point that, okay, or maybe she's munching on it with tears because she's disappointed that she had to settle for this food instead. So those would be my general feedback for this as well. The way you've set up everything is actually really good already. So if you would like to, you could actually like edit things appropriately or with regards to my feedback later on if you'd like. But so far, do you have any questions about your feedback for this?
Um, I think I'm good. This is really useful feedback. And yeah,
Oops.
normally like I don't really know the like structure of yonkoma, so I just like
Mm-hmm.
kind of just went along with it. But this is like really useful to know like what it's like to have like the first one, like and we have like development and twist and conclusion like that. That's really useful for me to know.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
okay.
but for what it's worth, you for someone who's not as familiar with the Keisho Tenketsu, your first draft was already pretty good. Yeah, so good job. So I guess
Yeah.
I think my last question for you, before you ask your next one, do you with the feedback you got, are you gonna try to like redraw this maybe? Maybe try to work the feedback, you know?
Um, yeah, I think I might try like doing something like that. That seems like a good idea for me. Maybe I
Mm-hmm.
can try to adapt from your feedback and I will just like post it on my Twitter later after I redraw some stuff.
Ooh, we're gonna be looking out for
Oh,
that.
yes, yes.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome.
That's great to
Yeah.
hear. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, by the way, for this submission, Chitrapon.
Yeah, thank
Really,
you so much for the feedback.
of course, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
And we want to hear from the others as well. So we'd love to know if you got any takeaways, even though it's not your submission that was critiqued yet. Let us know what you learned. It would be good. It would be exciting to know what your guys' takeaways are from this one. Yeah. So good job, Jitapron, and we're looking forward to seeing your redraw. Yay.
Oh, by the way, guys, I don't know if you actually see, but one of the mentors that we mentioned is actually here in the chat and listening to our Zoom, sitting in right now. Hi, Jackson. Hi. You don't have to unmute if you don't wanna, but our
Hey,
mentor Art Crumbs is actually here.
big shout
Yeah.
out the goat.
Apologies, we wanted to, shout you out, but yeah, a lot of the important people are here, not just us, your coaches, who will also be providing you feedback. There are our existing students. I'm seeing Lucas, I'm seeing James, I'm seeing Donovan, and a lot of others. We also have some from our Philippine pool of students as well over here. And also, yeah, these are the people that you would be interacting with and learning from. And you can also brainstorm with them. Of course, that is if you decide to enroll in our course. So just a shout out to our community here. Thank you so much for coming by to support us. Yeah. But yeah, guys, what about the rest of you? Do you have any questions or maybe insights that you kind of realized just from this one before I go on to the next yonkoma? I'd love to hear. Hi, Sahib. So Sahib said, I enjoy the big differences in simplicity and making one small adjustment, making the panel and scene much more effective. I was getting a bit of coaching with the concept you taught us today from some comic friends. So it's awesome for the confirmations. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to learn something, guys. And exactly, just a small adjustment can mean a lot. So think about it this way. With Yonkoma, you only have four panels. So every little thing matters, just as simple as shifting from, we shifted from this panel from from 3 to 2, and then we changed the context or we changed the wording just a tiny little bit, and it already made quite a huge difference. Okay. Um the more the more over dramatic you are at your manga, the better the message delivered. That said by Demetrius. Yes, actually, again, because you have such like a limited space to express your idea, it makes it all the more better if you are pretty, if you really put it out there. So again, like here, G-Trapon was already able to set the mood. In fact, like I actually just mimicked a lot of their like crying faces already drives the point. And you're welcome. You're welcome. At first, I intended to make it into a story about my character having trouble to find food during Thanksgiving Day, but this feedback also included the story about my character ordering delivery food into it as well. Exactly, because that is the twist. Yes, okay, so you are welcome. Also, we don't only count the digital submissions, guys. We very much accept traditional as well. We have some traditional submissions here. Just so happens that Chitrapan was able to use this. It looks like Clip Studio Paint. I think it was right. Let me know. Let me know. There we go. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. I would like to call on Justin Alcantara. Are you here, Justin? I am hoping that you're here. I did see your name here somewhere. There are quite a lot of you.
Mm, yeah.
I think you are here, Justin. I can
Okay,
see
let's
you in
look for.
our. Yeah, I can see you here, Justin Alcantara. Yes,
Okay.
hello.
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
have you unmute if you're cool with it, of course. Yeah, because we want to ask you some questions about your submission as well. Yeah.
Sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
There we go.
Hi, nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so
Um,
tell us a bit about this yonkoma.
so I was just dabbling with an idea of kind of like a salaryman or a working man who, just got out of their job. They went to go get some food after work, but they saw, a stranger on the sidewalk, and they felt like they wanted to do something nice for them, whatever they thought was, justifiable for that. And then yeah, it just instead of you would think that he would give him a slice of pizza, I guess, and it was something else, but it came from the heart, I guess.
Oh, this is very sweet, though. This is very sweet. We just saw this like just before we came into the Zoom, so I'm glad that we got to see it before our meeting today. But this is okay, hang on. So this one was done in pencil, so do the right thing. Sorry, could you repeat again what happened here exactly in panel number 3?
So I guess I was trying to the man on the sidewalk, he has a cup in his hand. I guess that's what I was trying to do. This was
Mm-hmm.
also a rough sketch or a rough draft. It was just like a first draft. I just jotted it all down. But I guess he was supposed to pour or give something into the cup. I guess it could have. It wouldn't be right if it was a slice of pizza in the cup. But I just wanted to signify that something was given to the man, and then the last panel, the conclusion was I guess it was, alcohol, I guess, or something other than the pizza.
Okay. But did he receive, at least here, he receive anything in the end?
Yes, it was supposed to be that he received a drink, I guess, instead. So
Okay.
in the last panel, his stomach is still growling. He's looking at the cup. He's like, "Oh, I guess I got something other than what I expect, or something else other than some food or a little money or something."
Okay. Okay. So thank you for clarifying that. Okay. So um with that, so your twist is essentially that he was given something but it wasn't the pizza. It wasn't the
Right.
pizza.
Or I guess the audience is supposed to expect something other than alcohol.
Right, right. So I think the setup here, the first two panels are pretty good. The development is okay because, we think, okay, he's going to be giving some of that pizza. But you're seeing that your character is seeing he's only got a cup. So it doesn't make sense to give him something. It doesn't make sense to give him like pizza inside the cup. So what we want to emphasize is that he was given something that was completely unexpected. So let's go panel by panel first. So here, here in panel 1, what I'd like to do is let's shift it a little bit. And by shifting, I mean we're gonna kind of make it a little bit more, how do I say, we're gonna kind of move around the composition just so that it's not too close to the right side. So as you can see here, I'm actually just using your existing one. We'd wanna, okay, composition wise, oops, sorry about that. Composition wise, we wanna emphasize that this man is like, you know, homeless and hungry. So I'd probably bring him up a little bit higher. Like make him the bigger focus. And then we're gonna hold up the mug. Oops. We're gonna hold up the mug a little more. And again, this is just very rough. So to emphasize that maybe this was supposed to be for, actually, let me backtrack on that. So his stomach is growling, right? So we're trying to go off of the fact that this guy is hungry. So I think that you one thing you could do is emphasize the sound effects. So we're gonna place the your main character a little bit off here. Yeah. Here we're gonna emphasize the growl. And maybe you can add what we call manpu. And what we mean by manpu is those are like the little symbols that you see that are very unique to anime and manga that kind of drive the emotion of the scene. So for example, when you see those, what I call them the emo lines, when somebody's like depressed or unimpressed by something, or
Been
the
a while since
vein,
I heard that term, emo.
or or let's say the little vein on the head when somebody's angry. Those are what we call manpo, and there's a great variety that you can explore. So I would say let's put a few more like lines, because squiggly lines kind of mean, yeah, we're hearing something rumbling, growling. We can definitely keep here the hand on his stomach. Again, this is just very rough. Good that you kind of put in the background here, like, okay, he just came into the room, or sorry, outside, out of the room or something. So him, we can keep him kind of as is. I'd probably, although I think one thing that I would probably change here is we're gonna make the pizza box a little bit more visible, because it's just putting pizza on the side is a little bit small, right? So we can, there we go. We can kind of change the angle just a tiny little bit. And then maybe we can add just a simple like pizza slice. So we know exactly what is in this box. Again, very rough. There we go. And then here, this I think, what do you think, Coach Karen? I think this one we can actually keep as is. Probably
Yeah.
just shift it a little bit downward to keep it
Definitely.
centered. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do here. Oops. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hadn't. Uh, there we go. We're gonna shift it just a little bit downwards so that it's not too. We can clearly see the just do the right thing.
I would also like I understand it's still a rough sketch, but if you could like remember like what Coach Fi advised Gita Prawn earlier about using text or changing like the font to like emphasize the effect of like certain text. So like do the writing, maybe you can make it like similar to like in SpongeBob where where he's doing like the imagination kind of quote. I don't know if you guys get the reference, but for your like panel two, you can make the do the right thing a lot bolder so that it because it's part of the it's part of the storytelling, you know. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Very much so. Oh, excuse me if you hear noise in my background. My cats are trashing my room. So, okay, here. I think here is where I'd make. I know that you mentioned it's possible that the guy just poured like um, alcohol into his cup instead, and that's very plausible. So, one thing I suppose that I'd like to add, given that, is that we need to be consistent. So we have to have continuity. What do I mean by that? Everything that has like a, everything that has, we need to see like the flow of time properly. So we see that he's got like booze in his hand here. We don't see it anywhere else in the previous panels. So maybe, um, in addition to this first panel, I'd probably add. Oh, sorry. maybe you could add, maybe he's holding the pizza with his other hand, and then with one hand, I'm gonna change the, because it's so it's not too messy. Maybe he's holding the pizza with the other hand, and then with his other hand, he's got the booze. So he's got like a bottle here. Okay, that's really huge. He's got a bottle. Again, just a very rough sketch. So something that you can kind of make out the silhouette of. You know that this is a bottle of some sort because it's important. We're also gonna add that here. Pizza. Maybe we'll change it to just like one hand is holding it and then the other one will have, again, I hope that this is making sense. We're gonna have him hold the bottle. Not the clearest. Okay, there we go. That's probably better. Right? And then, so here, um, I think that you can use a different choice for your sound effects. So when you say clunk, it's kind of implying that you're dropping something like solid and hard, right? But if your intention is that he actually just poured the alcohol instead, you'd probably you'd probably want to use something else like what's a good sound effect here? Like I was gonna say glug glug, but that kind of gives the it kind of gives the impression that he's drinking. What's a good one to use? Actually, I'm thinking of.
Like this is like grabbing, right? Not drinking. Am I understanding correctly?
I believe from what Justin mentioned a while ago, he was pouring something into the cup. Normally, right, when we see cups like these, people are usually asking for change. So that's
Yeah.
the twist.
Yeah, I'm trying to like think because I know that in Japanese onomatopoeia sometimes has different like sound effects. Like we understand that it's glug, but it might be different. But of course that if that's not the intention, um, yeah, you made me think about it. Of like what the right
But at least in
onomatopoeia is.
English,
Yeah,
what's a good one to go with?
like blue blub. Like I would
Blub
probably go
blub.
blub 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 blub. Like as in like it's a bubbly. Like when I hear blub blub, it's like a bubbly fizzy drink. I don't know.
So yeah, it was similar to what Justin suggested here
Mm.
in the chat. So I'm going to change this panel. We're gonna keep the idea of okay, the the beggar is still here, and maybe let's imagine that this is the guy's arm, still holding on to mug. Again, sorry, very rough. Maybe these are his legs. So what I am drawing here is the cup itself, and then we're gonna draw the booze like pouring in, and then something like blub blub. You could actually, I think you can definitely explore some better ones. I'm sure you can probably um I'm sure you can probably think of something better. But we can make it a little bit, we can play around with it a little bit. So aside from just putting it plain and simple, you can stylize it a little bit. Blub, blub. Really to give the effect that it is this guy is just pouring it in there. And then wait, I'm trying to like mimic the motion. I'm like I don't have my camera on right now. I don't exactly look super presentable, but um a little piece of advice is you are your own best reference, by the way. So keep a mirror with you at all times, especially when you're drawing. So right now, there's like a mirror across my desk, and I'm trying to mimic the appearance of my hand so that I don't have such a hard time. But let's just say that this is his hand, the guy, our main character's hand. So that's his thumb, and this is his sleeve. And this is kind of going to be a top down sort of, it's going to be a little bit of a top down um, view, if you can see. Maybe you can even put the corner of the wall here, little bits of dirt and trash or whatever, just to really fill up the composition. So see, we already like we've made the twist very clear because we're referring back to the alcohol that he had in hand, and we have to make it consistent that he has it in panel 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one we can actually generally keep. I would probably just change it up a tiny little bit, um probably improve the perspective a little bit more. Hang on. The pose itself is actually already good, right? Because it's like, yay, I did a good thing, but he actually ended up um just pouring the booze in instead of the pizza. But at least with this pose, we know that we are looking we are looking at this one, the booze. So really good job on that. You emphasized the twist at the end. Maybe I would just for balance, I'd probably put his hand underneath the pizza. Perspective wise, I'll use green instead. Perspective wise, we can probably improve it a little bit like this. And then we can put this guy. Hang on. Oops, sorry about that. Oops. We can put this guy a little bit further. No, not further, but enlarge him a tiny little bit and maybe improve where we put the door. So we don't want him to be too obscured. Actually, wait a minute. When you are considering composition in your yonkoma, actually even in your drawings in general, you don't want anything to be too cramped. And what do I mean by that? You want all of the elements or all of your characters, all of your props, anything that is extremely important to be, the silhouettes are clear. It's easily readable. So just like what I mentioned during for G Trapon, um, we want we want everything to be very clear. So we're gonna move him a little bit here. Actually, we can kind of keep the pose. You can just like improve it later on with it um when you actually like draw the designs fully and everything. What one thing I would like to emphasize, I think, is the expression. So he's like frustrated because like, oh my god, you didn't even give me your food. You gave me alcohol instead. So you might wanna. This is actually where the manpu would come in handy. So just like what I said, the emo lines. So I'm gonna write them over here. Apologies if you hear my cat sounding off in the background. This is where I would probably put something like the vein or the emo lines. Like this. It's like, oh my goodness. And then you can also we can go back to the growl of the stomach. There we go.
Yeah, like just reminding your reader that hey, the guy's still hungry. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So
Okay, because it's a good callback to your first panel, Justin. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Also, with regards to so I was talking about consistency, right? With the bottle of alcohol. So one thing that I would also like to praise here is that you were also consistent with the hand holding the mug. So sometimes it's easy to forget, especially like it is a a beginner mistake that's easy to make for anybody, but we kept consistent with the hand holding the mug. It's always the guy's right hand, right? His right. His right. So we'll keep that as is. Just the same that we have to make sure that this our main character is holding the bottle with his left hand. So consistency means a lot, especially when you only have 4 panels to show what your story is. Yeah. What do you think, Coach Karen? Do you have any other comments you think could improve this one?
Yeah, I think you managed to like say it all, Coach Fi. And yeah, I guess on this one I'd rather ask Justin like what his biggest takeaways are. Maybe you have any questions for about the feedback that you got. And as well for those who are in the Zoom with us, you can share what you've learned from the feedback so far as well. So I guess yeah, fire away, Justin. Do you have like any questions or takeaways you want to share? There we go.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we
Yep.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so thank you for the advice. It actually some most of it helped a lot. Like it answered a lot of questions that I initially had when jotting down certain things. One of the things um that I wanted to kind of do was I did want to hide the bottle initially, and I wanted to see if there was a way, or my question is actually like, is there a way to hide things um early on, like in the intro or the development before we get to the twist? And then because I wanted the twist to be the revealer, but I see like now, like with the revisions, that it makes a lot more sense that the bottle is present for the the twist that we have now because we wanted to show that the bottle was being used like for the cup, I guess. Um, I don't know if I made my question clear.
Yeah, can you like I sorry, can you like repeat your question again? There was yeah, I got confused a little bit, sorry.
So I guess it was is there a way that I could have
Mm.
hid the bottle
Mm.
and still brought it to, like the exposition still be within the twist of the bottle? Or
Mm.
is it just better to be safe, keep it consistent, show the bottle throughout all 4 panels that it's like a present item, and then just
Mm.
roll along with that?
I mean, depending on how you want it to go, there can be a way. Cause like, can you quickly zoom in, Coach Five, on
Which
your
one?
panel one, on Justin's panel one.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Cause if your intention is to like keep like the bottle hidden, and then just reveal it towards the twist, I think it's important that you are providing some sort of foreshadowing like it's there because I mean it's not really a big issue for some, but for storytelling purposes, it's good to have a hint of what you want to reveal. So just so it doesn't come off as abrupt or off. What's the term? Like jarring, because sometimes the risk of revealing something like it pops out of nowhere can be jarring for some readers, not all the time. And that saying, sometimes you gotta break the rules sometimes. Like there are situations where you can do that. It's just for the sake of a yonkoma, because usually in yonkoma we want to have like the story has to have some semblance of consistency. So if you wanted to like keep the bottle hidden, a suggestion I would have is, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's in a paper bag, maybe it's in a bag, maybe we see a hint of the not the what the neck of the bottle peeking through somewhere, just so that the reader doesn't know that it's there. But once you show it in panel 3, that's when you start doing a double take. Oh, okay, okay. He did have it. I just didn't see it immediately. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like you said, foreshadowing the bottle would be the ideal
Mm.
way to go if I wanted to go that route.
Yeah. So that's one thing that you could do. Maybe he has a shopping bag. Here from where we are, we call it an echo bag. It's like a reusable shopping bag of sorts that's not made of paper. So maybe something like that, or maybe it's in his backpack if he has one. So that's something that you could incorporate if you wanted to keep the bottle hidden. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay. So I think we can move on to the next one. I would like to call on Zach. Zach H, I believe you are here. I see your name in the participants. Can you hear me? So we can go on to yours. Awesome, awesome. Okay. So, all right. Hang on. So first off, uh, hang on. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. All right. All right, all right. Thank you for that, Coach Karen. All right. So, first off, I'd like to say, uh, you have a very interesting style, and your character designs are really cool. And I can actually already see that you've got some degree of practice and mastery in inking and hatching techniques. So, really good job on that. I think that you are very expressive with your brush strokes, especially here. I really love how you did the sound effects here, the youch here. This one, although it's not like sound effects, I know it's for the race. Everything is really expressive. It's very distinct, and like it does definitely, draw the eye. The plot is also pretty much easy, and it's easy, and it registers pretty well. What you're trying to convey. So, what I'd say here, one of my main feedbacks is that in panel 3, I'm not exactly sure what exactly Allison tripped on, right? So, like, is this something that the squirrel boy? I think that he's a squirrel. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it something that he threw in the ground? Is it something that just happened to be in the ground, like I don't know, like a piece of wood, since it looks like they are in a forest or something. Although it's good that this is the twist, we don't have any context of what this is and how exactly it got there. So, what I would say is maybe you could like detail this in a different way. For example, if it's actually like just from the ground, maybe it's like a tree root or something, you could probably draw it slightly differently, maybe a tree root jutting out of the ground like this with some bits of grass around it. I would say it would be good also to have like how do I say? It would be good to have like some sort of a foreshadowing of it in even just in the previous panels. Like maybe we can see tree roots coming out of the uh
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Did you want to clarify
Uh,
something?
Yeah, sorry. I knew that was an issue, that it was
Mm-hmm.
hard to see with the I try my best to do the values with it. It's supposed to be a Lego
A Lego, I'm
and
sorry.
yeah, a Lego.
Oh, all right, all right. That is
And
indeed painful.
I did try to add some foreshadowing. Uh if you look closely, I know it's like uh on the boy, he has like a little thing coming out of the back pocket and
Oh, I
near the
see what
end you
you're
see it
meaning.
like falling out.
Okay. Oh, okay. I did not actually catch that. That's a thank you actually for pointing that out. That actually does it does change a little bit of the context. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right. So that changes a couple things. It does actually make it a little bit clearer. So, with that in mind, so let's imagine that this is a Lego. I would say there's no need to shade it completely because it's not going to register well under all of these shadows. You can probably leave it, just like leave this the little block peg thingy. I don't know what you call it because I think it's a shape that people know very well. So, being that it fell out of his pocket, like the thing is, whether or not it is intentional that it fell out of his pocket or that maybe he threw it, we need to see some indication that it fell. So, I would say maybe um, maybe some movement lines like this. Maybe it bounced on the ground, and maybe yeah, you would have to compromise a little bit of this sound effects text, but we need to see that this is something that fell from somewhere else and it didn't just like magically appear on the ground, right? I would also probably put some manpu here. So those little, I don't know what you call them exactly, but those little jagged lines that artists put when somebody's turning around to notice something or when something appeared, those little things. I think I would also, since it's kind of foreshadowed here a little bit, right? I would probably try to make his pocket a little bigger and then add something peeking right out because it's like it's just like the slightest detail. It's like, okay, this is gonna be important later on. I need to know what is happening here. Okay, so really good. Thank you for telling me that. With regards to this panel, I would say just to drive the point that, oh my gosh, it came from him, I would actually enlarge this pouch a little more and then make the other Lego blocks that fell out just a little clearer. Again, I'm gonna do this pretty roughly. We're gonna keep it, we want to make it clear that this came from him. This happened because it fell out of his pocket, or maybe he somewhat threw it. We're not sure, but it came from him. So we want these things to be clear because it's directly related to the twist, and it's gonna give us some continuity, right? Another thing that I'd say is that your composition here looks a little bit tight, and I think that we can and also like it doesn't give. We know that it's a race, but I think that you can very much enhance it by. Let me just do this. We can enhance it by really pushing things a little further back to give that illusion that, oh my gosh, okay, this is a long way to go. So maybe we can shrink her a little bit because even if they're I'm assuming that they're children, even if the distance isn't like super super long in reality, we want it to feel that way. We want it to feel that, oh my gosh, they have like a really long way to go. So I know that you gave this guy a head start, but he still looks a little bit close to the person with the gun. So I would still shrink him a little bit, and I would want to show a little bit more of his limbs so that we can really see that he's running. So I can understand that the oh sorry tangent there. I can understand that he is meant to be like stubby, But I'd say you can probably work on the character's design a little bit more, so that it's a little bit more balanced while still keeping that stubby feel. I think I would rather I'd recommend exploring some different sound effects that aren't like flap, because at first when I read this I thought, is he trying to fly? And then I realized, oh no, I think he's kind of like a squirrel. So maybe you could make his squirrely parts a little bit more prominent, like maybe give him a little bit of a bigger tail, a bushier tail. Squirrel or chipmunk or whatever he is supposed to be. Make his ears a little bit more, a little bit more obvious. And then instead of having him flap his arms like up and down, maybe you can still keep the stubbiness but make them, like the position that people usually make when they are running like this. And then you can add some motion lines like that. So again here, oops, I'm so sorry. Let's ignore that piece. Yeah. Here, so the actual pacing I believe is already pretty good. The conclusion is also okay. We can improve this more on the composition side of things. So for example, the medal that he's holding is kind of blending into the tree. So what I would do is just move the tree a little bit to the left and make sure that nothing is let's like put some negative space here basically. So we understand that this is already the big tree because that was already set up in panel 1. Here we want to make it clear that this guy he won. So we I think I would say lighten the rendering here a little bit because it's a little bit unclear. And then you might want to make the orientation of the medal like something this like somewhat of this way so that we can see the right side up version of the one. So we don't have to like turn it around. Here, so we know that she tripped on the Lego. I really like the pose, by the way. It's also, I can feel, I can definitely feel the pain. But I think what we can do to improve this is we can keep the pose but kind of draw it at a different angle, if you know what I mean. So let me just briefly, it would be something like this. So maybe she's cradled on her back and then she's holding her foot, and then these are her arms. I'm going to use like green for her arms just so that it's a bit clear. I also like the little detail of she like an apple fell on her head like just for the extra payback or the extra, you know, hubris. I want to make that a bit more obvious. Maybe you could add more manpu here, and then like it actually, since we know that they're in the forest, I don't think that you need to put the branch here. You could probably just keep it as like speed lines, right? So I'd also put her a little bit further back. Again, just to drive the point that she got left behind. So like a really, 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 really far back. So even just like this, you can see that she's like rolling around in pain. We can probably add more manpu here because it's like owie, owie. Yeah. I think that's what do you think, Coach Karen? Do you have anything else to add for this one?
Yeah, I'm honestly like I think well your suggestion, Coach Fi, where we see motion lines, I think that's something that you can actually introduce for panel 2. The Lego dropping already. Like I don't know,
Mm.
but that depends on you. Like what's your intention for this one, Zach? Like did you mean for I think the reason why I say this is because personally, as someone who's reading this for the first time, um it's gonna be it feels like a jarring experience to see a Lego in the middle of the forest, or forest woods, in the middle of the woods. So maybe I don't know. Like, did you mean for this to like just show up on panel 3, or I don't know. Like, was this meant to be a surprise?
Um, so well, I was like, well, I had the like, I tried to make it look like they were at a park. So I tried to add the park in the top of
Mm,
panel one
mm,
at like school or something. I did have thoughts of him kind of like being mischievous about it, but
mm,
it was hard to kind of tackle that. I didn't know how to tackle that really with four panels.
mm,
Um, so I just was trying. I was gonna make it like fall out instead,
mm,
but yeah, I didn't really know how to tackle that. So I was just making it like fall out on accident or something like that.
I see, I see. Okay. Well, I mean, it's something that you could try experimenting with if you do decide to polish up the yonkoma, cuz I think, I think it's funny. I personally think this is a funny story. So, that's just like my suggestion. It's something that could make it make more sense that we know where this little Lego brick came from. And maybe in panel 2, you don't immediately need to know that it's a Lego. We just know that something fell out, I guess. So, I don't know. That's my take on it. Yeah. Um
Yeah.
yeah. So on that note, do you have like any questions, or maybe share some of your takeaways on the feedback you got so far?
I'm not really good at on the spot questions, but the the bouncing part. I mean, I didn't even think of that, so that really helped out a lot. I did not think to do that, and yeah, I did know the. I didn't realize that how I guess the main object, like the Lego, I did make it a little too dark, so I know it wasn't obvious, but the feedback was really helpful because I couldn't think of anything else to really add.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad that you were able to get something from this. I'd say, if it, like as you can see, I actually didn't change like a whole lot about it. Like I said, everything seems quite good. Just a little bit more on the readability and like setting things up properly, right? So you get like you've got a good way to go, and I would honestly love to see more from you. Exactly. Cause yeah, this is pretty good. And I'm very interested in this little squirrel boy. Yeah. Okay. So awesome. Thank you so much for your submission, Zach. We're gonna
How
go
about,
on. Oh yeah. Yeah, you
yeah,
had something
like
to say, Coach Karen?
how about we got people sharing their takeaways in the chat. Maybe we could see one. Uh, Ruben, biggest takeaway would be how each panel should contribute to a story to the next one. Yes, exactly. So it's really important that each of your panels should contribute to the storytelling. So he said, in short, don't draw a story randomly, especially if it doesn't add meaning. That's a really good takeaway, Ruben. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, and of course, everyone else is free to share their takeaways, and even those watching us on, YouTube, you drop your takeaways in the chat. We'd love to hear it. Yeah. Okay, so back to you, Coach Fine.
Would I would love to hear somebody like I would like to hear someone's voice tell me um anything that they learned. So takeaway means just anything like an insight. Like, did you learn something new from the feedback that we've been giving to these submissions so far? Aside from just
Something
the
new?
chat, I'd
Yes.
love to hear somebody unmute. You can
Yeah.
raise your hand actually if you want to.
Okay, we got one from Carrot. They said, I just realized the importance of zoom out the view of the manga page. Readers can overlook that foreshadowing or important detail related to the story. We would overlook it when we draw on big canvases like B4 paper, but it might be too small when the paper resizes to A6. Yeah. And also, guys, don't be shy to unmute. Yeah, you can raise your hand if you want to like share your insights verbally. And yeah, that is correct. You know, readability, like Coach Fi mentioned readability earlier. So, when we say readability, it's when even if we're looking at your manga from afar, we can clearly make out what's happening. It doesn't have to be like super detailed, but we see a hint of what's going on even when we're seeing it from a distance. Okay, so we have someone raise their hand. Okay, let me see. Ooh, little better scroll up. Okay, so Kieran, okay, should let us know what your takeaways are, Kieran. Hang on. Maybe we can I think are you having trouble unmuting? Hang on. Ah, where did you go? There we go.
I think they are still here.
Yeah.
It's lagging a little bit on my end.
Oh, there we. Yeah, I don't know why. Okay.
Hello?
There
There
we
we
go.
go.
Hey,
Hi.
Kieran.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Ohayo gozaimasu.
Uh, the takeaway from this is just make sure it's readable, no matter what the character is doing and stuff like that, and so far as action and bubble placement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing about it. And since I'm new to this, new to the Zoom, by the way, if I
That's
let you
okay.
know, um, I'm also working on something right now. While I was talking, it's just the cover of the manga I'm working on. Um, but other than that, uh, all I can say is, yeah, that's all I know about so far. From what the takeaway is, it's like readable, make it readable, and make it know. Oh, and make it understood. Make it be like understood. That makes sense.
Mm, right, right.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Kieran. And that's a great thing to take away because no matter where you are, in your journey as an aspiring mangaka, at the core of it, it's about telling a story, right? And you want your
Mhm.
viewers to know what you are trying to say. So you're very correct. Readability is very important. It's something that takes quite a while to master, and it's also the reason why it's great to refer to other people to get advice from those who are, from those who have the experience. So you have like a second or even third or fourth pair of eyes to help you figure stuff out. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, so um, I am seeing I am seeing another raised hand, but we can get to you in a little bit. We're gonna go to the next one. Is Mateo here? Is Mateo here? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Mateo is here because I don't think that I can see your name. Is that
But
are you
yeah,
Marvel Stitch?
yeah. There we go. Hang on. Let's yeah, you feel free to unmute. Yeah. We'd love to ask you questions about your yonkoma. Okay, there we go.
Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So off the bat, let me just get my
Hello?
notes for you. Yes, hello.
Okay, checking.
Yeah.
I
Did you want to tell us anything about your yonkoma?
mean, this was actually the third one I made. I made like three of these, but I felt like at the time this one was the best. But Honestly, I think the first one I made was better.
What makes you say that?
Well, from because the first one it was actually well, it's a funny story. So the first one was a real experience that happened to me, like when I was getting my certification as a machinist. I went to the vending machine, and it didn't give me the food, and which is also funny because after I wrote that and I was at work, it happened to me 3 times.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, but yeah, aside from that, yeah.
I see. I see. But you know what? Like that's as relatable as that is. I do like this one. I like this one because actually like the moment that we saw it, we are like, "Oh, this is witty," because like this guy pretty much broke the fourth wall, and that's the fun part of it. Um that's actually one of our one of the best things that we liked about this one. You have a very witty use of the fourth wall breaking. So I'll go on to the feedback so that we can, we can give you a little bit more. So your Kisho Tenketsu and your pacing is pretty good. It's very simple and to the point, and it's easily understandable by anybody. It's minimal, but also the sound effects are very effective. You just got this one thunk and the whack with the ricochet, and that's it. And it's really good. It's really good for something that is really simple. So um, one of my main comments here is that I think that you could vary your composition a little bit more, and you could probably also add some sort of background element as well because there's this the space here is very empty, so it feels a little bit awkward because it feels like there's supposed to be something there. I'd also like to say the character isn't fully drawn in. So I think that I understand that I believe this is a draft, but I would encourage you to really fully put in your character design. So I don't mean that you need to put in all of the individual folds of his clothes or anything. But for example, we want to see like his face. We want to see we want to see it cleaned up and everything. So a yonkoma, as mentioned by our takeaways from earlier as well, needs to be readable, but also have a clear character design. So how can we improve this and put a little bit more variation in here? I'd say panel two. Panel two, you could probably. Oops, I am so sorry. Hang on. I think my Photoshop just hung a little bit. Excuse me for a moment. I need to reopen this. Let me try to see if I can. There we go. Okay. So I'll go here. So panel two is pretty good in and of itself already. Let me. I think we can keep panel two, but maybe panel one we can switch it up a little bit. Maybe the view can be even as simple as from the golf ball itself. Like, maybe a close up. Let's make it a little bit more dynamic. Like the golf ball on the, I don't know what you call it. Is this called like a tee? I'm so embarrassed. I don't actually know what it's called. And then maybe we can have like the club here, and then we can have the club here, and then the guy's feet, just to show that he's getting ready to putt. And then his other foot can be somewhat in the background. I'm gonna use something lighter for this. And again, this is the foot. We're putting emphasis on we're putting more emphasis on the golf club and the golf ball. So we instantly know that, okay, this is a golfer. He's just about to make his shot. And then, so panel two, we can keep pretty straightforward, but I would probably add, as I said, some background elements. Doesn't have to be fancy. Maybe like some grass here, golfing, like a golfing range, a golfing range, maybe even just some clouds, trees in the background, like what you see in the golf course in general, just so that it doesn't feel too empty. We want to make your golf ball a lot more dynamic. So let's emphasize the let me use a different let me use a different color. Let's emphasize the motion lines. So it's very dynamic. I actually like that you made it like elongated. In animation, we call that like squash and stretch. So, when things are speeding up so fast, instead of a ball, it becomes like this. So, really good on that. It adds to the dynamism of the scene. I would probably also make your motion lines here a bit more prominent. You could also vary the line weight. Line weight is basically the thickness of your lines. So, for example, again, I'm doing this very roughly, but you know how sometimes in manga and anime you have like a very cool variation that kind of just adds a little bit more oomph to it. So that's one thing. Here, I think we could kind of keep the same composition because the point is it hit the edge of the panel, right? What I want to do is really emphasize it. So let's add a bit more mantu here. Maybe some lines here or the jagged lines to show the impact. And we probably wanna uh we want to really emphasize the sound effects as well. So let's make it bigger, more dramatic. Really hit the thunk. And then um let's also in that same vein, let's also exaggerate his reaction a little bit more, right? Let's make this one a little bigger. Alternatively, so that another way that you can vary it is uh, change the view just slightly, like just barely. And what I'm thinking of is something like, how we see Pokemon battles, right? We have like a frame here, and then we have like you as the player here and your opponent over here. Maybe you can kind of keep it similar, and if not, if your impact won't be in the core or at the edge, it can probably be something like here, even somewhere in the corner. And then your golfer can be over here. And then we can see, again, similar to a Pokemon battle kind of view. This is his cap. And then maybe we can make his reaction a little bit more like, what? What the heck just happened? So that it's still kind of, it's just a different view of this one. Make sure that it hit the corner, and then add the same like background effects that we had earlier. Maybe maybe we can move the sound effects here. Maybe the actual like hole is in the background. And again, you can be very minimal with these, but just so that it's not so empty. And here, I really like how wacky this is. Let me just turn the opacity back up so you can see. I like how wacky this is. Very dynamic pose. I'd like to keep the pose, but let's switch up the composition um just a little bit, okay? Actually, what we can do is we are gonna okay, let's make this a little bit bigger. And then let's zoom it in. So kind of kind of go off of the same kind of pose. So it's still gonna come launching back at him, right? And then we can kind of go off from the same, sort of the same view. Keep the pose. Like really push it, put the chest out here. And then we can even have like his leg flying up, just like you did. Oops, there we go. And then we can exaggerate the impact by kind of distorting the ball a little bit and then adding that impact. You know, when things are going so fast, the ball becomes a crescent. It goes from, you know, circle to oblong to this. And then we can definitely keep your sound effects, but let's just make it a little bit more, a little bit easier to read. Like really emphasize it, the whack. And then we can keep that, that goofy expression. I also like that you like made his hat fly off. It just adds to it. Yeah. So that's actually the main feedback that I have for this, because it's actually, it's pretty good. Just needs a little bit more, emphasis, a little bit more variation as well. What do you think, Coach Karen?
Yeah, I think that's pretty on point. And I wanted to say, Mateo, I really like that you opted for like a fourth wall break here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's something that I personally, it's one of my favorite things to see in yonkoma. So, yeah. I think I just want to ask you first, do you like do you feel like these suggestions kind of express what you want to okay, let me rephrase my question. I would say, what are your thoughts on the feedback? Yeah, there we go. So what are your thoughts on the feedback, and if you have any questions for Coach Fight?
So after like I posted this, I had like a bunch of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you're just like, oh, I'm done, and then you're like, oh wait. But I think these like I never would have like thought about the ball, because like showing the ball close up at first, because my main thought was like, okay, because like it was all kind of like, I felt like if you like change the shot, then like the joke wouldn't really work.
Mm.
But it still works. I was actually thinking about for the third panel, instead of it like actually like hitting the wall, it would like stretch it out and then slingshot back. But
Oh, that's clever.
yeah, I think this is very, very informative.
Hmm. Okay. I can tell you've got some really witty ideas. So thank you so much for sharing that. Um, I think for now, like for the sake of practicing, we could definitely stick to these usual panels. But I do like that idea. That's definitely something that you should experiment with. Like don't let anybody stop you. Why not? You could probably make a different version of it where it actually does, like as you said, like stretches it out like all the way over here.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, don't be afraid to break some rules. And also, I would add to this as a tip for not just for Mateo, but for everyone who is working on their yonkoma, whether it's your yonkoma or your one shot or your series. We really recommend making different versions of the same thing because it's something that professionals actually do. Sometimes your first idea might be good, but maybe you could make it better, or maybe two or three you could get something good out of the two or three redraws that you do of the same scene and combine it together. So I do like what you said, Mateo, that you were trying to experiment. So I would really recommend making what we call them thumbnails. So it's kind of like a very small thumb size drawings of your panels or your full sketch, because that way you get to experiment, like say, does this look better if I'm looking at this from an eye level, or maybe would an over the shoulder shot of the same scene work better? Would it make the joke more funny or funnier? Would it make it more dramatic? Would the readers get to see my characters' expressions better if I go with this angle instead? So that's something that you guys should consider putting into practice. So yeah. Yeah, so anyways, I want to know what your takeaways are. Do you have anything you want to share, Mateo? And also for the others who want to share their takeaways, whether on mic or on chat, but I want to hear Mateo first. Yeah.
Gosh, you mentioned when you mentioned the thumbnails, that kind of
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently working on another manga, well, short, I guess, and
Mm-hmm.
I was and the thumbnail thing, I think, really just lit up an idea in my brain, so maybe I'll
Ooh.
use that.
Oh, that's awesome. That's exciting. And like I like that. Like I'm excited to see it, of course. And if you decide to post it on social media, or maybe even better, join our community. I'll be looking out for that. So we hear the coaches here and the mentors, so we're all always happy when like you guys say that you want to make more after having an experience like this, because that's the goal here. Yeah, and oh, I'm seeing a lot of hands as well. Yeah, please make sure to post your takeaways in the chat as well, because I know that because we have limited time, we won't be able to read through all of your takeaways. So posting it in the chat helps because it makes us know, oh, you definitely learned something. Okay, Benjamin and Reet, am I am I reading that correctly? So maybe one of you guys could share. I think Reet raised his hand, his or their hand. I'm sorry for assuming. Reet raised their hand first. Okay, maybe we can have you unmute Reet, and then Ben, and then oh, okay. And then Sahib, I think I saw you raise your hand earlier, Sahib. So read Sahib and then Benjamin. Yeah, okay. And then the others can share their takeaways in the chat so that no one is left behind. Okay. So okay, I'm trying to find Reed. How do I Okay, there we go. Can you are you cool with unmuting? Yeah? Okay. Okay, are you there, Reed? I can see you, but I don't hear you. Other, yeah. Don't be shy. We won't
Sure
bite.
thing.
Like the students like to call us the Eldritch Terrors. Yeah, is ever like is Garrett and I think Jay already went
Hello.
Donovan. There we go. Yeah, hi Reed,
Hello. Am I
welcome.
audible?
Yes,
Yeah, we
yes.
can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for like this session,
Mm,
first of all. And
mm,
I learned that we don't have to exaggerate or make the art more noticeable, but we have to represent in a way that it could give the idea of the story or the storyline we are following.
Mm. Yes, that's a good takeaway, Reed. Thank you so much for sharing.
Okay, thank you.
You're
And
welcome.
another thing, will you
yes.
do these challenges again?
Oh, that's honestly, with the excitement that everyone's like with how successful this is going on, like we're hoping to have more of these in the future.
Uh,
So just stay
cause,
tuned.
I can't make it the last time because there was my exam,
Mm,
and
Mm-mm.
also I cannot join the last session in which like one sentence
Mm-mm.
session because of
mm.
my exams. Thank
Ah,
you
I
for
see.
these sessions. I am muting myself.
Mm.
All right. No worries, sweet. And it's okay. Like I hope the exams went well. And this is the part where I would encourage you guys to turn on your notifications on our YouTube channel cuz we are hoping to make more of these workshops for you guys and we'll just stay tuned first. So make sure to turn them on so that you get notified when we're doing the next one. And we still have another one happening in a few hours at on December 8th, 1 p.m. Central Europe time. If you guys, there may be a chance that your yonkoma gets selected. So yeah, yeah. Okay, so next one is Sahib. Okay, because we are running out of time, maybe we could go with just one more, and then the others can share their takeaways on chat. So, okay, there we go. Can we have Sahib share your takeaways? There we go.
Hello, hello.
Hey,
Can you guys
Uh,
hear me?
hey.
yep, loud and clear.
Sweet. Hey, so what I've been just getting actually for the whole day has just been like being as efficient as possible when it comes to your paneling, understanding the stages of how each positioning, camera angle can set up a scene to where it makes the scenario more effective, to where the reader can enjoy what they're seeing and what information they're gathering based on the conversation or scene that's set up. Um, I have been really enjoying the fact that as much as you want to make something complex, it's so effective when it's simpler.
Mm,
Because I'm more into focusing on illustration, so I really enjoy detailed work. It's
Mm,
cool to be as detailed as you want to be, but story or creating a scenario to where the audience can enjoy, excuse me, is not much about how complex it looks. There are
mm,
things about manga to where the manga could be as subtle or as simple as can be, and it could be one of the greatest stories ever made.
mm,
So my question has been, for me, I've kind of discovered through my friends is that I was comfortable specializing being an illustrator,
mhm,
and I realized I'm really terrified in bringing it all into like panel scenes and creating the characters to interact with the world that we want to create. And I think this is
mhm,
a collective thing for all of us that are beginning in the journey of being a mangaka or any type of comic artist. Is that how do we truly overcome those steps
mhm,
and not be afraid of learning something new when it comes to this, so we can break out of like being paralyzed.
Mm-mm,
so we can
mm-mm.
still continue to strive to be aspiring manga artists in the long run.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. That's a really, really inspiring takeaway. That is true. Like when you have like experience as an illustrator, sometimes it can be what do you call this, anxiety inducing, at least in my
Yeah,
experience. Yeah, like, especially you're good at this, and then you realize that you have an opportunity to grow, and it can be both an exciting and terrifying thing. And so I'm glad that this experience, like this challenge, at least for you, Sahib, it's challenging you to like break out of your the current box that you're in. So but if you do when you do decide to break out of that box, and hopefully you will towards the end of this session, we're gonna look out for that. So yeah, thank you for sharing your takeaway. I think unfortunately, because we are running out of time, so maybe if you guys could share your takeaways in the chat, so that way we could like read through them, and we'll know that you guys took away something from this challenge. And I guess I want to like challenge you, because you're all here, you showed up to this challenge, you learned something, you took away something from the feedback that your fellow aspiring mangakas have. um I want to like ask you these couple of questions. So, um, do you guys have an awesome story idea, but you can't figure out how to make it work? Or do you feel like your drawings don't really show how cool your story is? Or more importantly, do you dream of making your own manga but feel stuck and unsure how to do it? Like, I have a feeling that a lot of you guys are gonna say yes to this, but I still want to know. So make sure you type yes if you relate to any of these. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yeah, all right.
Seeing
Okay.
lots of yeses.
Yeah, we're
Ooh.
seeing lots of yeses. Cause yeah, I'm pretty sure for me, it's a yes for me. Yeah. So okay, all right. Okay, I'm seeing a yes from Abdullah, from Hansela Leo, Jennifer, Owen, Cherise, Angkor, Kian, Sahib. Yeah, like there we go. We got the various. Yeah, so a lot of you guys relate to this. I feel very strongly about this. So if you answered yes to any of these questions, then we're inviting you to apply to our one shot manga drawing program. So, this experience that you have right here, this is something that all of our students experience weekly. And let me tell you, the roasting is a lot. It's a lot more. It's a lot more meaty. It's a lot more heavy. I'm not. We're not gonna make you cry, of course. But what we mean is, if you already took so much from this short workshop that we have, what more if you are part of this drawing program, like, I mean, we have some of our students here. Yeah, yeah, we already some of our students here. I mean, you can ask them, they know the drill. So
Yeah.
we have some of their works actually on screen. So here we have Courtney. So you like earlier you saw her 11-month progress. This is what she achieved in 9 months. She also really liked the sense of community. Like, everyone in class is amazing, very energetic, very youthful, very energetic, and we've been seeing a lot of our students progress. Like, I think a lot of them has been had major progress in their art in just a few months. We also have Eduardo here. So you can see here, this is just Eduardo's storyboard, but he already actually published this on Manga Plus Creators. So if you check out his manga, Cobra the Kid. We actually featured him in our community post on our YouTube. So make sure to check it out. Like, Eduardo is also one of our awesome students. And you've also seen some of their artworks from at the beginning of our workshop. So you've seen their results. You've read how happy they are with the community. I saw Jay and Garrett sharing their experience in the chat earlier, and you've seen how the community and the guidance from our mentors has improve their work. And even here, like from our coaches, Pai and Karen. So, the question here is, do you want to be part of this community as well? I want to see some answers in the chat. So type I want in the chat. I want to know who among you will be part of our happy little community of Eldritch Terrors. Yeah. So yeah, one of us. One of us. But honestly though, like we were always happy when there are new people joining in, and we enjoy seeing all the stories, the ideas that you have. So if you want in, if you want to make your time making manga more meaningful and more productive, this program, this one shot manga drawing program, is for you. So we are on a mission to accelerate your growth all while having fun learning together. And you'll have our amazing pro mangaka mentors to guide you, just like Steph Pastrano, one of our awesome pro artists, a professional webtoon artist of me or her, professional illustrator, and the anime art mentor for our local branch, our local our local course for students, the Artillery Philippines. We also have the amazing, the one and only Nao Yazawa, the creator of Wedding Peach. And let me tell you guys, she's super, super quick with her drawings. Like, you're gonna break a sweat. And we also have Rena Saya, our awesome, awesome Rena Saya, well, also a professional mangaka artist. And both of them have a combined experience of over 50 years in the industry. And we also have our amazing mentor, Art Crumbs. Art Crumbs is here in the Zoom chat as well. So you'll also get to learn from them and their experience making God's Bane and the one shot Onami, and all those techniques you'll learn from our amazing mentors. So we're not just taking in anyone, guys. We want to work with aspiring manga artists who want to be empowered. So half the work comes from you guys. This is for you if you're at least 18 years old. So unfortunately, if you're not 18 yet, you're gonna have to wait. But when you do turn 18, we'll be more than happy to welcome you and give you this opportunity. And you have to be comfortable writing and speaking in English as well, because we're an international group. We have people from all over the world as part of the community. And also, you're a beginner who wants to learn how to draw manga and start telling your own stories. You got a passion for manga and dream of getting published or winning contests with your original artwork, and you're seeking confidence and a supportive community to share your art and grow as a manga artist. So if this sounds like you, then you're invited to apply and join our one-shot manga drawing program. So our new term is going to start this on January 2025, and we only have 17 slots left, guys. Only 17 slots left. Like, you gotta take this opportunity. So again, we're only accepting 18 years old and above, and you can book a free consultation call. Just make sure, if you have like your phone, you can scan this QR code, or alternatively, you can go to this link, which one of our teammates from Learn to Draw Manga will be sharing in the Zoom chat right now. So, or you yeah, hang on. Let me go. Let me get that link for you, and post this in the chat, in the Zoom chat. And for our YouTube team, YouTube fellas as well watching on YouTube, you can book a call with us through this link, or you could use your QR scanner. And I also want to know, if you booked a free consultation call during this session, I want to know it in the comments. Like, I want to know who took this opportunity, because again, like, saw a lot of people share their takeaways in the chat earlier. And all these takeaways and more, you're gonna learn, you're gonna experience it um more intensely when you are part of this program. Yeah. Okay, so like, I mean, okay, Benjamin, oh, you had like a question. Okay, feel free, if you feel free to drop them in the chat. Let's see. What's your question, my guy? Okay. All right. Hang on. And of course, to the others, the who applied, let me know. I want to see who applied to who looked through The yeah. Who okay, okay, hang on. I think I lost your question in the chat, Benjamin. Hang on.
Benjamin, would you mind maybe retyping your question here in the chat so we can see it here at the bottom?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So I'm seeing from Sahib. Aw, I was invited by Miss Trisha. She's been in my circle since my very challenging moments. I'm overcoming a lot, but her messages and her reaching out to me has kept me going and not to give up. Yeah, man, that's so awesome. Yeah. Of course, we have our leader Trisha. Hi Trisha. She's in the Zoom actually. So make sure you guys say hello to her. And of course, when you book a free consultation call, you get the opportunity to speak with Miss Trisha. So, yeah, if you have like any questions about like the program, like you, this is the chance for you to like get to know her. Yeah, yeah, everyone loves Trisha in the chat. Yeah, that's awesome. uh okay. Okay. So that's your question. Okay. So, I know that some of you guys work traditionally. We have students who actually go full traditional. I know that Garrett and a few others use traditional tools. We've got Tyler and a bunch of other students. Yeah. So I think half of them are actually using trad tools. So don't worry. And we have lessons in our program that go over traditional tools, so don't worry. So if you're worried that hey, I'm not a digital artist, that's okay. A lot of our pro mangaka mentors started out traditionally. Yeah. Yeah. So okay, I want to know if you can't book a free consultation call now, make sure that you keep the link that we shared you a while back. Hang on, let me bring that link back right here. So you can save this link or you can take a screenshot of this QR code. We have the replay. I feel like this workshop's going to have a replay as well. So make sure that you book a free consultation call cuz here's the thing, where are you gonna be tomorrow if you start today? I mean, you could say, Coach Karen, I wanna wait. I don't know yet. I mean, the best way to know is to book a call. And the thing is, these opportunities don't come by. Um, like it's very difficult to get into um like if you're someone from outside of Japan and you're still learning like these opportunities where you get to learn directly through mangaka mentors, especially mangaka mentors who know how to speak English, and we have people who with the experience. So I think I don't know, like give it a shot, guys. Yeah. Yeah, so like yeah, this is a great opportunity for everyone to take and take it as a challenge cuz you have a dream and we want to be part of that dream. We want to be part of helping you achieve that dream. Yeah. All right. Okay. So, I think since we have under 18, we're still gonna have these workshop sessions in the future. So make sure that you got your notifications turned on, yeah? Okay. All right then. So I think just a reminder, guys, we will also have our another workshop, a yonkoma live critiques, in a few hours. So that's gonna be December 8th at 1 p.m. Central Europe time. So for U.S. peeps, that should be, I think in Eastern time that is 7 a.m. If I'm, but yeah, 1 p.m. Central European time, December 8th. Yeah, so for if you missed the beginning of these, if you missed out on the beginning, so for Garrett it's 5 a.m. So Mountain Standard it's 5 a.m. Yeah, so if you guys missed the first part of this workshop, we're gonna have another one in a few hours. And if you wanna like uh if you want to join the other one and learn from the feedback, you're the lucky the lucky the lucky draws the lucky the lucky mangakas who will get their stuff critique. Yeah. Okay. All right then. So I think without further ado, okay, did anyone sign up? I want to see who signed up to the yeah, if you can't do it right now because maybe you're on the road, maybe you want to have time to look. Oh, Kieran, we gotta sign up. Hey, that's awesome, Kieran. We're excited for that call. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a big win for you, Kieran. Yeah. All right. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, all right then. So, without further ado, since we're a little bit over time, we thank you guys for coming. I know that not everyone's submissions got critiqued, but I want you guys to look out for more opportunities like this. So maybe next time, you never know. So thank you so much, guys. I
Yes,
hope
guys.
I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.
If you can manage to make it later, especially,
Mhm,
especially if some of you might have seen your names here.
mhm,
Again, we'd love to get to as many people as we can, but we do have limited time. But you know what? You can learn so much just from
mhm.
watching other people's critiques. So come by
Exactly.
later. Come by later. Technically, it's later for us. For some of you, it might be the next day. But
Mhm.
regardless, I really hope to see you guys there.
Yes. All right. So that's gonna be 1 p.m. Central Europe time. That's 5 a.m. for Mountain Time. That's 8 p.m. for GMT. +8. Yeah. Okay. All right then. Happy birthday, Anchor. Thank you for spending your birthday with us. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks again. And this has been Coach Fi and Coach Karen. Thank you for joining, and we'll see you all later on our next workshop. Take care.
See you soon, guys.
See you soon. Yeah, and we can't wait to have you in class. I hope I hope you guys join us. We're excited to have you in class. We're all fun. Be part of the group of the Eldritch Tears learning and succeeding in our manga journey. Yeah. Yay. All right, guys. Take care. Bye everyone. Have a good one. Okay.